research was. But now we live in a world where there are millions of different ways that one can assess how good an article is. So we have usage, media coverage, blog coverage, etc., etc., etc. And the point really about all of these is that, first of all, no one of them is the one that you should rely on. And secondly, it's often the ones that, for example, don't necessarily have the traditional measures that are the most important. So in my field, I run a medical journal, PLOS Medicine. And the papers that are the most important, I would argue, are often the ones that are cited least. So, for example, papers on health policy in Africa, I can guarantee you don't get cited more than a few times, yet will have an enormous real-world impact compared to, for example, relatively small clinical trials that are published in high-impact journals. So the first thing is there are lots of ways of assessing this impact. But the second thing is that actually now there are lots of ways of automating these metrics, and that was not true a few years ago. So we're at a kind of critical time when we can actually do something about...
Sorry.
I'm being sabotaged here. About what we do. Okay. So, and the next point I'd just like to make is that we're not the only people thinking like this. We did an author survey across all our journals a couple of months ago, and one of our authors, and actually I don't know who this is, so if anybody recognises this quote, I'd really like to talk to you, because they made quite a lot of good comments, but made the real point that the way that papers in journals are being assessed at the moment is actually detrimental to the whole process of science communication. And we would wholeheartedly agree with that. And amazingly enough, actually, so do quite a lot of other journals nowadays. So it's true that articles have actually broken free of journals. If you talk to any publisher about how people come to their articles nowadays, most of them don't come to the web page. They don't come to the home page